was so much better.
Yeah, a
Um,
long time ago, I used to I'd shift them a little bit. So I
oh,
would,
yeah.
I would angle one off a little bit and I would put it 6 or so inches in front of the other one, and I could break up that wave a little bit. And they didn't
I just turn them up so that they squish the echoes against the back wall.
I
until it
always
did.
get intrigued, when I see those pictures of like 50 subs and 27 subs and I go, how do you control that stuff? I mean, it's just you'd need.
Wayne, when we did Microsoft up in Toronto, did we hang subs and have subs on the floor, or what?
Yes.
How we did? Okay,
Yes.
I couldn't remember.
We had 8 aside hanging and then another 4 or 6 or something. I can't remember the number on the ground.
I have such great pictures of that.
There was a lot of speakers on that show.
It was, but it sounded great.
It's so much power. I just can't because the most I'm used to using is probably at the most 8 aside, but generally in speaking, 4 doubles aside in medium-sized rooms. So it's still a lot of bottom end. But
well, I mean, for that Microsoft show in particular, which was in 2000, I think, we had 56 4889 Vertex. We had 12, 6, and 12, and then delays of 8, 6, and 8, I think was how it worked out.
That sounds about right.
And then 8 subs aside flying, 4 subs aside on the ground, another 16 KF300s on the ground for front fill and wing fill and that sort of stuff.
I think we're in the hockey rink, weren't we? In the hockey rink?
Yeah, we were in the hockey arena.
Toronto.
So what happens when you have an acoustic guitar? Your high pass filter gets used a lot.
Well, everything gets high pass filters except what I don't want.
Yeah.
I mean, we actually had with the screen on that show was 28 by 90, and which was big for that time.
Holy crap. I got to tell you, Wayne, D Feedback's getting a workout right now on ABC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Robert's doing the CMA Awards. Melissa Lambert's halfway up the arena with 8 mics out there.
He's earning his keep.
And you're using that for sure? They're using that?
Absolutely. I know, Robert.
Yeah, he says he was going to use it for everything. But by the way, I have to interrupt you guys right now. I'm going to interrupt you whether I want to or not. First of all, thank you so much for pointing that out, Gregory. Gregory, hey, I like you as Greg, and I love your haircut, by the way. Wonderful haircut.
It's no haircut. It's just pulled back.
I wonder where
it looks
it went.
like you had a haircut. Unbelievable. You know, it's obvious you don't have a Thai girlfriend then.
Today.
That's all I could say. If you had a Thai girlfriend, you'd never have hair like that. You know, I have my hair already. I got to go for a haircut later today. She's going insane, you know. But by the way, speaking of that, I got a couple of things I want to say. Welcome to Thinking Out Loud with Friends of SoundBroker. This is 286 consecutive meetings that we're going through. And Greg brought up D-feedback, and ladies and gentlemen and children of all ages, not next week, but December 3rd, the gentleman, Devin Sheets from Alpha Sound, will be our guest in the room talking about D-feedback, and he, of course, is the inventor of it. You know?
Oh, that's cool. When?
So we're going to have that December 3rd.
Okay.
Spread the word, tell everybody. I'll be promoting it as well. But that's something that's really exciting. And also, I've spoken with Joe over at Sennheiser, and he wants to come in and talk about his new products as well. So basically, one of the things that I've wanted to do for a long time with this show was to bring people in from, talk about what they do as far as manufacturing, so that you guys could bring some questions, and that's what we're going to be doing. So. The other thing I want to say is good to see David Dansky out of a cruise ship. It's hard to separate him now from a cruise ship.
I got in yesterday. I'm leaving again tomorrow. It's like nonstop. For a guy.
And I just read an article, by the way, David, that cruising is really popular right now. Super popular.
We love it.
Yeah.
Just cruise travel reached a record high last year. 36% of global cruise passengers were under the age of 40. Furthermore, 76% of Gen Zers and a whopping 83% of millennials who have gone on cruises in the last 2 years say they would do it again.
Wow.
So
That's really
that
impressive.
is impressive. That comes from Forbes.
So in August, we cruised around Iceland. It was absolutely stunning. And in October of 26, we're doing the 20-day Long Beach to Tampa, Panama Canal.
Is
Yeah,
it true it's mandatory to have stretch pants when you go on a cruise?
it helps.
Helps.
I
Well,
actually lost weight on this last cruise because of the fact that I'm not eating as much. I came back lighter than I left. That's like a miracle.
Yeah, how do you do that? I want to know how you do that.
It's not easy to turn down those ice creams and those pizzas.
Oh, and drinks and all the great
everywhere
food.
you look, there's
Especially now in the holiday season, by the way. And if you're not in the holiday season, stay away from the radio. Mariah Carey is already back on the air with the, All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Of course. I was never a Mariah Carey fan, so.
Up
That's a
to
great song,
25, it's 252 weeks over from last year. Basically, it's already on the Billboard Hot 100, occurring almost 10 million streams.
Yeah, she makes millions of dollars a year on that one song.
Yep.
Well,
Isn't that amazing?
good for her.
The other thing is the Rust. Have you guys seen that? The country. I watched the virtual thing of this guy. It's so AI. It's horrible. I had such a hard time watching it, and yet it's the #1 country song. Impossible, but it's true.
I've not seen it.
No.
Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. It's like a slow talking song, and the figure, the guy in it, is so AI that it's hard not to believe that it's AI. So anyway, it's scary.
So Jan,
Scary.
can you give me permission to post some pictures? It's telling me
Absolutely. You don't need permission.
Well, I dragged over a picture from the Microsoft gig and it told me I needed permission from
I put one in the chat.
I saw that, but I got a bunch more.
No, you don't need permission. Everybody has permission.
Here we go again.
It says that I need permission.
Let me see what I can do to give you permission. I don't have the ability to do that. Let me while you guys talk amongst yourselves, let me see what I can do to figure this out.
So speaking of Christmas songs, I was just on that 50s malt shop cruise, and Darlene Love was on there, and she sang her Christmas song, which was on Letterman every year. That whole thing, like 28 years in a row, she sang it on Letterman.
Oh, I must have heard it because I used to, way back in the day, I was really into Letterman.
Yeah.
He went off the rails the last several years, but
yeah,
he was. Although I will say, I still pull up the final week, the Foo Fighters with Zach Brown version of War Pigs.
Yeah.
If you have not seen it, check it out. It is amazingly good.
Yeah.
Just like Bruce, try it now. See if you can.
And if I need a good cry, I always go back and I will watch the Heart Stairway to Heaven at the Kennedy Center Honors.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah. I can't watch it without shedding a tear.
Yeah.
It says transfer of JPEG files restricted by your account administrator.
Oh, that's on your side, not my side.
Well, what do I do?
You'd have to go into your settings in Zoom to allow you to share.
Okay. Settings.
Wayne, you wanted to share something, right?
Sure.
Yeah, he shared a picture.
Well, I shared a picture of Toronto, which is in the chat. So
okay.
Wayne Sims, I don't know if you saw that.
So I just downloaded it, actually.
Yeah.
How come your voice is quite delayed now? It wasn't
Mine?
before.
I don't know.
No,
well, that could be Zoom, and that could just be the drugs you're doing, Wayne.
Oh, it could be. I just had Chocky. I had Chocky. Chocky's a drug, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't.
I chalk it up to submarine cables.
There you go.
I can't find where you do that. Where do you do that?
I think it would be under your settings if you go under settings. So I
I don't
would
even
think
see
that you.
settings.
Oh, what are you on a Mac or a PC?
A Mac.
Okay, on a Mac, go up to the top of the window. Are you using the Zoom app or are you using the browser?
I clicked on your join the meeting and went to did that. So whatever, I don't know what.
Well, what is your browser of choice? Is it
Safari.
Safari? Okay, so at the top it says settings.
Um,
So you're not using the Zoom app.
it says Zoom Workplace. It says Zoom Workplace
Oh,
meetings.
then it is. Okay, so so right underneath the word Zoom Workplace,
Yeah.
there is an ability to go to your settings.
Oh, settings. Oh, okay. I see.
And then go down to I guess be sharing or video. Do a option F and then type in sharing.
Option F as in Frank.
Yeah, so for find. And while we're doing that, well, let's see what else could we talk about. Let's talk about the world's top YouTuber, Mr. Beast. Basically, this
Why?
guy is insane what he's doing. He's got a show on Netflix. The world top YouTuber is still racking up sky-scraping viewer numbers as more than 100 billion views. Mr. Beast, congratulations. Everybody on YouTube wants to be like Mr. Beast as far as the settings, as far as getting numbers like that. 100 billion views, 100 billion. That is insane amount of views.
Pretty wild.
What does he do? What
And
does he
that's
do,
the
Jan?
state of the world today, folks. Thank you very much.
What does
Well,
he do?
most people are getting their news from social media, which means, who knows what they're getting. Everybody I know, including myself, loves AI. AI search. I just switched from Perplexity, a paid account with Perplexity, to a paid account with Gemini 3, which is amazing if you use the Google environment. It really is good. But unfortunately, every search you do, or there's an error message on the bottom, or a disclaimer, not an error message, that says, check your results because, hey, we don't guarantee any of this information. So just like us, everything you hear today is an opinion. Do your own research. That's what I could say,
There you go.
So how you doing on that sharing, Bruce?
I'm not finding it. I'm in the settings and I'm looking around, and F6 didn't do anything, or option 6 didn't do anything.
No, option F. It's not option, it's command F, which is your search
command
feature.
Okay, command F. Oh, and that brought up another window here. Hold on.
Yeah, it brought up your search window, and then you look for sharing. So, but you know what? We could do this after. And by the way, I would love a couple of volunteers. I really want to switch over to Ecamm, and I've been having a lot of difficulty doing it on my own. So if you guys want to volunteer to help me out with that, we'll set up a time where we could do an Ecamm meeting so that I could set it up. I can't wake up early enough to go to, or late enough to do the Zoom test kitchen. It's at 12 noon, which would make it like 3 in the morning here. So anyway,
dedication to your craft, Jan.
Say again.
Dedication to your craft, Jan. Go for the
Yes. I tried doing it yesterday. It's very difficult, to say the least.
Well, while we're hanging, let me see if I can share, because I could put up my little test thing.
I think it's related to whether you can go ahead and take over your screen. There you go. Now you're doing it.
Okay.
That's the table you bought last week.
Actually, that came from my father's house. It's a Louis the something desk that my wife has taken. But let's see, where'd the picture go? There we go. Let's see.
DM3.
Hey, we got a
Okay.
DM3.
So here's the setup. In the on the right side, you can see the little NUC computer.
Well,
Yeah.
go backwards to go forward. Tell us what you're about to show us, and
Okay,
then
so
show us.
this is my test setup for D feedback. So I bought the plugin, and I bought the Focusrite, which is coming tomorrow.
Right.
But I wanted to play with it. So the NUC here, which is on this, can you guys
Right.
see my cursor?
Yes.
Okay, so this screen here is the D feedback.
Right.
Okay. And so then the NUC is connected to the DM3 via USB.
Right.
So let's see. And so the microphone is pointed at my little Bluetooth or hardwire speaker, which is being fed from the headphone output, so that I could drive it into feedback and bypass and then come out of it to prove that the thing works.
It's a little powered speaker.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I had two instances. There's a couple of different ways that I tried to do it, but if I put this one up, you can see that I had two windows open,
Right.
and I went within the engines and made one engine 1 and the other one engine 2, because I wanted to prove that I could run two instances. And I think I also got it to work with just one window open, but two D feedbacks in it.
Right.
And I think some of that will populate differently when I hook up the Focusrite, because sometimes things just don't appear
Right.
if there's not a device hooked up. So, anyways, I was able to get it in there and hooked up, and by post-fade PFLing, I could put this microphone right up to my little speaker and click it in and out. I don't think I have a close enough picture. It's such a tiny little thing, but there's a lot going on. There's what they call the chain, which allows you to select between engine 1 and engine 2 what's assigned or not assigned.
Right.
And then there's a mute and et cetera, et cetera. So able to test it out, but that is the basic test setup that I have going. And I've run it for several hours over several days.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to be pretty spot on. I wanted to try my NUC. That NUC used to be my Waves control computer.
Mm-hmm.
And I back in July or so, I upgraded to a new NUC for that purpose. So this one's just hanging out.
Yeah, what they've done with theirs is they've highly tuned the OS in it, and I'm sure Devin will talk about that.
Well, I'd be interested to ask, because so far so good. And what I'm going to do is the job that Bruce was talking about. We have this union meeting we do every 6 months. And it's a 2 hour, basically an hour and a half to 2 hour meeting. And so what I'm going to do, now we do that on a QL1. So I will be setting up a separate input with D feedback inserted so that I can bail out if necessary. And we're going to give it a run here in a couple of weeks in a live show environment. So we'll see how it goes. But so far,
very cool.
In the testing phase, so far, the NUC seems to be handling it with two instances. I was checking CPU usage, and two instances drive CPU usage up to about 50%.
And how big is that NUC? What is it?
It's a little bit older. It's an i5 with 16 gig of RAM and
what's the hard drive in it?
Doesn't matter.
256.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not very big, huh? So I have a
Doesn't need to
question,
be.
Gregory.
Like the wave stuff takes
the
up
wave
no
stuff.
space at all.
Yeah.
So
So Greg, if question for you and also Wayne, because he might know, but if you buy the computer from their package, does it come with the program on it, or do you have to get the program and download it and put it on it?
No, the NUC is no. You still buy the license for the software.
Right, but
I
they
didn't
don't.
know
They
he
don't.
was selling a computer. I
Oh,
thought
you
it was
Yeah,
just
no,
an
no,
interface.
There's two versions of the computer you could buy, and there's two versions of the Focusrite you could buy.
Two versions of the computer is basically one I/O or four I/Os.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you need a Focusrite. It's the I/O drivers are Focusrite tuned.
Friendly.
I'll say the
Well,
best
my
way.
understanding, and we'll get this all cleared up when he comes in the room on the 3rd, but is that he said to me on the phone that you don't need any peripherals. He just recommends them.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well-
Well, I mean, look here. I have the license
Right.
running right now
Right.
with just the
USB.
NUC, my NUC, and the license via
Right.
USB.
Right.
I ordered the Focusrite because
It's a good way to
on
patch.
a QL1 that I'll have in 2 weeks,
Right.
you can't. There's no USB, so you have to figure out a way to interface it. So the Focusrite
Well,
will
you
be.
could use your Waves card.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah, the issue is
I did it. I did it in my shop. So the thing is, I have an RME interface and a Waves card and a DM1000 that I experiment with, and I set it up. The big thing with the with that plugin though is the latency. You know, like how much of buffer do you have to have? How much buffer have you engaged on your setup?
mine is at 16.
16 like
Well, here's the
samples?
Kenny. You came in a little bit late, but on December 3rd, the designer, the developer, and the creator of this project, Devin Sheets, is going to be in this room explaining everything that you want to
I
know.
wish I
So
wasn't.
bring
Yeah,
your
I wish I
questions.
wasn't. I wish I wasn't working that day, but so I'd be able to attend. But I won't. So I won't be able to attend. But the point
Well, here's
is,
a fortunate thing
I
for
purchased
you.
all things. Let me give you some information. First of all, you buy the license from that company, Alpha,
Right.
whatever it is,
Alpha.
Alpha Labs.
Alpha Sound.
But then you get the Focusrite from Focusrite, and you
Right.
get the computer that they recommend from a company called Snook, like Simple Nook, right? And that computer comes configured maybe with the plugin on it. I'm guessing so. And all you have to do is apply your license to it, is what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
And then plug in your Focusrite to it and tell the Focusrite
The
what,
whole
you know,
thing,
what
though,
computer.
is it takes a fingerprint. The license takes a fingerprint of the CPU that of the CPU that you're using. So, in other words, if you're going to move it to another, let's say you're going to use it on another NUC, you have to make sure that you deactivate your. You know, it's not immediately transferable.
Yeah, right. And it's one at a time, right?
Yeah,
Right.
it's one at a time.
So for the
So-
computer,
so
you still
Wayne-
need a screen and a mouse or a keyboard or
Just
something.
to set it up.
Yeah. It's
Oh, just
an
to set it up?
HDMI, yeah. Well, and for that matter, if you want to be able to adjust it once you set it up, once you're using it, if you
Gotta
want
go.
to adjust it, you need the
See you,
screen.
David.
Bye,
See you, David.
David.
Bye,
Hey,
David.
David.
Take care,
Yeah,
buddy.
Good week.
Artie wrote me back and said he'll be here next week. Anyway,
Yeah,
so,
I know Mike.
so
Mike
I-
Cars downloaded the demo and put it on Super Rack Performer.
that's what
In
I
the
did also. yeah,
future, because I use Super Rack, either Performer or SoundGrid, fairly extensively, and this thing is sort of a hog for CPU. I opted to put it on my old Waves control computer and run it with VST host in this instance, because I don't want to try to share the CPU load. Now, that's not to say that in the future I might not buy a second Super Rack Performer license because certainly the interface is way better.
Wait, isn't Performer free? Oh no, I guess
No,
Performer's
it's
not
it's
free.
$100.
Oh, okay. So the thing is, in order to use the Waves card with Performer, or you could probably use the Waves card with anything if you get this driver that's called it's escaping me right now.
Well,
But
it's
there's a
VST
Waves.
host.
No, that's the host. I'm talking about the driver that'll make the host see the Waves card because inherently it's not going to see the Waves card, but it sees this driver program that Waves will give you. It's called oh shoot, I can't remember the name of it. Something Q maybe 10Q? No, not that, not
Yeah.
10Q, but something like that. And that allows the card to be seen by other apps. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's limited to Super Act Performer, but that's where I was using it. And then
Right.
I come to think of it, was I using it? I think I used it with I have the Steinberg Yamaha program called VST Elements.
Yeah, I
Familiar with
couldn't
that
get it
one?
to, for some reason, I couldn't get it to see it and load into VST elements.
Well, okay, you followed the procedure that they tell you
Sort of.
for anyway, they have the procedure in fine detail on on the Facebook
Yeah,
page.
the problem
So
is their
I followed
procedure
their.
is all geared towards their computer with a
No,
Focusrite.
no, they have a YouTube video on it. Yeah.
No, because I know that for a fact, Wayne, because the procedure I follow was for Mac, and they don't believe in Macs, but they have a Mac beta version
Oh, I
of this
see.
so that I could try it on my home setup.
Right. Well, I got
So
it working. I
anyway,
just didn't see it in
yeah, yeah,
elements. So
yeah. Anyway,
You
so
guys
Elements,
sound to me
but the
like the
thing I was
kind of
going to
guys
say.
that buy furniture from IKEA and throw away the instructions.
Oh,
That's
for
it. Eh?
sure. The
what
the
other way is
the
there?
the thing I was going to tell you, Wayne, though, is in VST Rack, in VST Elements, there's 2 meters. There's like a 2 CPU usage meters,
Yes.
and the thing was pinning the peak meter, and it was kind of riding low on the average meter.
Oh,
So it must be doing something that's and in Performer it just has that average meter, and so it's hardly moving it at all. But in but in that VST Elements, the meter was like boom. In fact, I have a video of it I could send you if you want.
oh, that'd be interesting because I was looking at it just in uh, the computer's control panel CPU
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
monitor, right? Uh, and so
Well, the
yeah,
thing is,
there's a way to go, but I got it up and I got it running, and I was able to isolate it to 2 instances because I went ahead and bought uh, the four banger. Well, the license will do it. It's a matter of what the computer will do,
I get the
right?
impression the license will do as many plugins as you want. No.
Yes, I that's why I stopped and amended my statement. But
Okay. So anyway,
It's
so
a good
I
question
ordered
to
the
keep in
I
mind. I got a lot of
I
you
or-
giving me a lot of input for December 3rd. That's for sure.
yeah,
I ordered the computer, their computer, the one that they recommend, and I assume it's personally configured because the guy, I had to speak to the company that sells those things, and they said, okay, it's going to be a few days to put it together, and I said I'd like to get it before my next gig, and so he said he'll try, but with the holiday and everything, it's unlikely.
So they
yeah.
put the program on their on their computer, ready to go.
I have a feeling. I'm not
I
sure,
get it.
but I know that they configure it the way it should be
Oh, that's
configured.
cool. Oh,
So,
that's
Kenny,
great.
how would you plan on routing this through your system, and
So
where
here's the
would you be
thing.
using
In
it?
my Manilow system, I would and you're going to do analog inserts because that's what the Focusrite has. Well, the Focusrite also has what Toslink and
Yeah.
some sort of digital, but for most part, analog. So since I already have an analog signal chain for the 5045 that I use, I'll just put it in series with the 5045. And since the 5045 is the first thing in the chain, I'll just put it before that so that it's the very first thing in the chain after the mic preamp,
Right place.
Yeah, and so I'm planning on putting this thing in a two-space rack enclosure that I'm going to make. It's a mid-Atlantic chassis that'll have XLRs on the back instead of dealing with adapters
Like
and quarter
like
inch and all
that.
that. Oh yeah, sort of like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm working on that, and then I'll see how it works. It seems to, I mean, based on my little testing with my little, control room monitors in my garage, it seems to work nicely.
Now you're putting
I
it
could,
in series, right? Not parallel. You're putting it in series. So that would mean that if something went wrong, you lost power to it. Would that lose your whole mic chain of mics? In other words, would that lose the whole signal chain?
yeah, but I have a way to bypass that insert.
Yeah.
But I don't have a way to bypass, come to think of it, the Focusrite part of the insert. So that's a good point. I wonder if I should
Yeah.
enable such a thing.
Well, this is why for my initial test on a show in a couple of weeks, which is just a podium, I will actually duplicate the podium channel and have an instance with just D feedback, because then it becomes a whole pre-insert, post-insert versus Dugan versus blah, blah, blah. There's a whole bunch of considerations. So I will just, as at an initial test, just do it as a separate pre-fade insert on a separate channel, and I'll just put it on a custom fader. That way, if it fails, all I got to do is pull that fader down and push up the other one that's in line.
And not only that, with the way you're setting it up, you could do an A/B test.
Yes, absolutely.
And my A/B test would be just hitting the bypass in the plug-in device.
Yeah. Well, I just want an escape, and I don't want to until I get used to it, and spend some more time thinking about how to deal with my insert chains. I figure the easy way to do it is just throw it out there by itself without anything else involved. And, there's still a group insert for EQ and all that kind of, the overall system EQ of the microphone and all that kind of
You're
crap.
probably going to want to adjust the amount that it's working, because like Robert was saying last week, when you put it at 100%, you hear it. Whereas he kept his at 60%.
Does it breathe a little bit, Greg?
He just said it sounded harsh.
Oh, interesting.
Well, here's an interesting story. Let's go back. I want to go back to Kenny, because Manilow holds his mic down by his stomach these days rather than up. So basically, are you using a cardioid or an Omni? What mic are you using on him?
Well, it's the best mic for him right now, which is a Telefunken M80, which is a super cardioid, so it's very directional. And we switched to that from a KSM9, which is simply a cardioid. And by the way, it has a switch on it to make it supposedly hypercardioid, but even its hypercardioid was nowhere near as directional as this M80 thing. So anyway, the thing is, I'm based on my testing with myself talking through my little sound system, I did not hear any noticeable difference other than more gain before feedback when I cranked it up to 100 versus like 70.
I have not either noticed it. I was playing around with it a little bit. I have it sitting at 100%. It seems pretty natural. Of course, getting it out into the wild.
Yeah.
We'll see. And of course, since I'm mostly doing talking heads as opposed to music, it may be fine at 100% because it's not competing. With anything.
Well, obviously, he never watched. He never watched Spinal Tap, so that way he could have it to 110%. That's the problem.
So here's the thing. Two things. First thing, I think that it's interesting that this thing is getting as much buzz as it is. And the second thing is, I think it's just the first in a series of devices like this. I mean, don't you think that?
Yeah, somebody's going to run with this.
Are going to come up with the same basic concept.
Next year there'll be a version 2.
Well, that's for sure. They're talking about they're working on version 2 already, and they're saying that your license does not necessarily get you version 2, but you'll get a discount on version 2.
Well, we'll find that out on December 3rd. We'll find that on December 3rd. Notice how I'm promoting this, right? Yeah, you see? Pretty good. Yeah, very subtle.
That's right. Well, I thought it was, I think it's nice of us, Kenny. I think it's nice of you and I to help fund Devin's endeavors. So
Yeah.
Exactly. So Jan, you know about the D feedback user page on Facebook, right?
No, I do not.
No, I didn't know about
Okay,
that
so
either.
there's a D feedback user page, a
Yeah,
group,
there's a
and
group.
there's also Alpha Labs, and there's also
Right.
Alpha Sound. So they all have groups on Facebook. You should post on there about Devin making an appearance on your thing next week. So
I
that
will. If
everybody
you
that's
could send me
interested-
a link, or actually,
Oh, I
maybe you
just
could even
invite
post
you.
it
Yeah, I
for
could
us.
just invite you.
Facebook.
I could just invite you. Yeah.
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 You should join those groups though.
Yeah.
Okay.
The it's very interesting what people are saying about it. I suspect, by the way, Wayne, you use a 5045 on the Yamaha console, right?
no,
I do.
No, use that.
no, I use the WNS within Waves.
And so because I have a feeling it's, dare I say, similar in its what it will achieve to the
Yeah, Kenny, I use the
5045.
5045s. I love them.
Yeah,
I haven't
so
used
So-
my Wave stuff in a while.
but Robert already said he's thinking he's going to sell his 5045
Yep.
that he was using on Kenny Chesney. So maybe it does better than a 5045. That's
Yeah.
all I got.
Well, they mentioned cedar too. They thought it was equally, if not better.
Pat was
Yeah.
very vocal in saying
like,
that it's better
holy
than cedar,
shit.
better than the other thing, the Dolby thing. I was like, oh my god!
Oh my
Pat
God,
thinks
yeah.
it's better than cedar. Whoa,
Yeah,
dude,
whoa.
that's amazing. I mean,
Yeah,
it's-
that's all I
I'm
needed to
pretty
hear.
sure-
That's all.
if it was somebody else, I'd say, oh, they're just lazy and they like the one button thing. But it's not. It's Pat. I mean, he'll go to great lengths to make sure that those voices sound perfect. And for him to say that it's better than cedar, whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Well, I want to go back to my questions to you, Kenny. So now you're going to be, with this device, you will be able to raise the gain on his microphone. Now, how much how many more dB of sound do you think you can get out of it? And number two, are you worried about any ambient sound filling into the mic when you start raising at that level?
Not too worried about the ambient sound because that's what it's good at getting rid of, right? It somehow knows
it pushes
what
that
the
down,
voice
doesn't it?
is. I'd like to know if somebody will tell us what the actual philosophy of the software is. Like, what is it doing? You know what I mean?
There-
Like, is it
Well,
is it
December 3rd,
detecting a
come on
human
in the
voice?
room, make some time.
Yeah, right. Is it detecting a human voice or is it detecting something
It's
that's
tuned
louder than
for
everything
voice.
else?
They do in one of the videos. They talk through that. One of the introductory videos. They talk through how they do it. And I think last Thursday, I know you were working, but last Thursday, in the back lounge, we went through it in great detail because Robert wants to help this guy out as well. So
yeah.
I
mean,
So,
here's
so I
their
noticed
neighbors.
the company is in Oregon. How
Right.
close is Robert to them?
close.
Well,
Well, how
in
about
case
that?
you didn't
Is
know,
the- is-
Alpha Sound
is-
has been around for forever. His father, Dwayne, and I go back way. Well, by the way, not today, but the 16th was my 28th anniversary of operating SoundBroker.com. Is that not
Wow,
amazing?
congratulations!
Yeah.
And-
28
Yeah,
years you doing
congratulations.
that shit, huh?
And I've
that's
been
amazing.
working with his father for a long time.
Wow. That's
Then
great.
you have a discount then.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of discounts, they advertise that 20% discount for
Yeah.
Black Friday or whatever, and that's only on the license, not on the interface,
Yeah.
not on the computer, because
Yeah.
you're buying the interface and the computer from third parties, from another company.
That's
And by the
that's
way,
why I jumped on the
they'd
license.
I think they'd be smart to package it and have a package, and then they make a package deal, and then they make the money on the computer and the interface instead of the
Right.
computer.
Hey,
people
maybe
and-
we could do that with SoundBroker. What do you know?
or me, or
Yeah, you try and
Yeah.
package it, Jan.
Well, hey, Kenny, I have an idea. Why don't you do it in conjunction with SoundBroker, and you can take the lion's share,
There you go.
and then
That
use
could- that could be a
SoundBroker
possibility.
to market it.
There you go. Well, you'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
Tell them you have
It's
somebody
only a
interested
matter
in
of time
packaging it for you.
before it shows up at Sweetwater. I think version 2 will show up at Sweetwater.
Well, the thing is, it's three pieces at this point. You
Right,
got the
right.
license, you
That's
got the
what I'm
interface,
saying.
you got the computer. You know, if they can make it a product, as in
Right.
like the way I'm going to package it, and probably Wayne is too. You know, where it's the computer and the interface are in the same chassis, and then you just buy the license to make it work, or something like that. That would
Yeah.
be more appealing to a lot of people, I
Yeah.
think. But
Yeah.
what would be even more appealing is if they can get it to work with, average computer. One person on the group said that they're using it with their latest MacBook Pro, maybe like an
Yes. Yeah.
M4, M5, and they
Yep.
said it works fine with that. I was like, oh my, that's interesting. So,
Well,
if
it's
they
working
can,
fine with my NUC so far, and it's not their
huh?
NUC. It's my
I'm going to tell you
it's
when I get my NUC,
my
I'll
NUC.
tell you what the specs of it are. But I'm not sure
Does the
which one
program
they're
run
saying.
on Apple Soft IO?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That's how I tried it. That's how I tried it.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I must have missed that.
They post it as a beta version, so maybe it's not
Yeah.
totally
Oh,
flawless,
maybe, yeah, that's what I
but it
saw, beta
works.
version, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
this
mean, let me
product's
put
just
it
so
honest.
amazing. Not only that, it makes you look younger, more handsome, and smarter. I mean, it's an amazing thing.
So,
Oh, that's
So
Jan,
funny.
you're going to
back to
get
your
your
question though,
AT&T
Jan. Your question
license
about
then?
this
Is that what
number
you're
of
going to get?
dBs. The number of
DBs.
dBs that Robert claimed on his Facebook post that he gets 6 dB of more headroom out of
Yeah.
that thing than he would have had without it. And I don't know if he means 6 dB more than with the 5045 or 6 dB more than nothing.
Right.
Yeah. I've seen a couple on the user group, but 3 to 6 dB. What I'm looking for in the corporates, I don't have a big feedback problem, quite frankly. Uh,
Yeah,
you
I don't
know,
either generally, but I do run out of gas
you
occasionally when
know,
people talk too soft.
what I'm looking for is the extra gas when you got a low talker or a
Yeah.
shitty acoustic environment. And
Yep.
if I
So
can get
based on my tests with my little system in the garage, I would say where you would have just constantly ringing in the past, you could get that soft talker, but you'll have a little bit of ringing on them. You know what I mean? Like you'll just turn it up, give it some more gas. Oh, that's cute. Give it some more
hang on.
gas. And then,
Well, I was trying to put up the picture
what
I
did you
had up
steal the
before.
table from the Oval Office? What's going on here?
Oh, steal from
That was his father's.
That is a beautiful table, though.
That was my father's desk. And
Beautiful.
hang on, there we go. I'm back to this. So Kenny, I think you weren't in when I showed this before, but this is the test setup, which is the NUC here, and this is the screen to deal with it, and then it's going USB to the DM3, and then I just have this little Bluetooth line speaker coming out of the headphone output, and just driving the mic into it.
You're just like maximum accessibility of feedback.
Oh, super feedback. Yeah. When he engaged it, because we were Zooming when he did it, it just went away. It was like great.
Yeah, right.
Well, it looks to me
Yeah,
like
that's
the
perfect.
shin bone's connected to the knee bone, connected to the
Yep.
thigh
And,
bone.
and by the way, the same thing would happen with the 5045. If you disengage the 5045 and crank it up to feedback and then engage it, it'll turn off the feedback.
Yeah.
But then as soon as you talk, the feedback comes back. With this, the difference is that it doesn't come back. It comes
Right.
back maybe a little
Right.
bit,
Hey, Jan, unshare me.
Done.
There you go. So
But that's my little
can I
test
post?
Ah,
setup.
the power, the power.
We have the chat window. Does that accept audio tracks, or it have to be a link to an audio track? Probably. Here's what I could do. I could put the audio
It
track
might.
in a Dropbox. I have a little test, that I did, and you'll hear
Well,
me.
try dragging it into the thing, because I've drugged.
I mean,
Like,
I
I
gotta
just
find
drugged
it.
the
So
picture.
I'll find it in a minute.
Well, I expect you to come prepared, Kenny. What the? No, just-
Well, if nothing else, you
kidding.
could put it on the Thinking Out Loud Facebook page, and then you could share it that way.
I have to be honest, I've never been to the Thinking Out Loud Facebook page.
Well, I could be honest with you and tell you hardly anybody has. I hardly go there myself. Now, if you're going to watch a show, I prefer you watching it on YouTube. You know, I mean, we're so close. We're close to having 500 subscribers. Unbelievable.
Well, don't tell that to Devin when he's on, because
Well,
he'll
no,
be sitting there like
it's
going,
not a matter of how many subscribers we have. It's how many views we get, you know. And we're getting, you know, because we're everywhere. I think we're on X right now. We're on LinkedIn for sure. We're on Facebook, you know, which we stream. So we're in a lot of places. We get a lot of views.
yeah.
You guys are famous. Has anybody yet been asked for an autograph?
Nope.
Anybody?
No.
Yeah, I was asked for an autograph the other day. I got pulled over by the police and he handed me something that I had to sign. Unbelievable. And I said, hey,
I knew that was coming, Jan.
I said, hey, you know
You were
me.
just
Yeah,
right.
yeah, you just showed me a license, buddy. All right, yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. You know.
Holy crap! So there is where front of house is. Holy shit! I'm watching the live stream of the CMA awards. Real interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There it is.
Hey, Tom Cruise won an honorary Oscar. Does anybody know why he won that?
It was the governor's award. So it's like
Oh,
the,
I thought he got the I'm too short to be an actor award.
You know, I heard him do an interview once where when he first got started, before he got that movie Taps, the agent that he was with said, look, you know, you're never going to make it. You're never going to make it. You're not tall enough. You're not good looking enough, you know. And I'm sure he still tells his, I forgot the agent's name, but I'm sure he still tells that story.
And then he did Risky Business.
Yeah.
That was a fun movie.
Yeah. He really seems to love what he does.
Oh, yeah. He digs it a lot. Have you seen the videos of him when he talks about when they took him up in the Air Force took him up in the jet planes to film the movie and how he got sick and puked on his feet and he's got some great stories.
Bozo. That was the guy's name.
Yes, the guy was Bozo. He says that's why they call me Bozo. Oh, there's some great stories. Yeah.
No, what I loved with him with James Corden, you know.
Oh yeah.
Where he tortures James Corden.
Private jet, that Honda private jet. Holy crap.
Yeah.
You know,
anyway,
James
back
Corden
to Kenny Newman. Go ahead, Kenny Newman. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, I put the links for two different audio recordings. Those are recordings made right off the mixer that I was using. So then I also have a video, which is recorded with the stupid iPhone microphone. So the audio isn't so good, but you can see the meter on VST Elements moving, I think, if I can find this video. Let me find it.
It's interesting that you're using a DM1000. Well, I borrowed the DM3, but I have an O1V here. I'm about to replace it with an O1V96. I just wanted something with a slot for my Waves card, and the original O1V is the first to have the slot, but it's not compatible with the Waves card. You got to get to an O1V96. No, you got to get to the O1V96.
I had an O1V96 and I sort of traded it in for a DM1000. DM1000 is much more capable and it has
that's a nice little console too, that DM1000.
So it's handy for testing, you know, Wayne?
Yeah.
So one of the benefits that I've done now with SoundBroker, because you know, as you might guess, I am kind of like semi-retired, and I'm not working the way I used to work. I've made a deal with Sweetwater. So anybody who is looking for a discount, I have a deal with Sweetwater that you just mentioned my name, and I can give you the certain number that you have to call. You can get a discount. So save some money.
Cool.
And I just want to say, I don't get anything out of it. I don't want anything. I'm not asking them for a referral fee or anything like that. It's just gratis. That's all.
You're not getting 1% of 1% of 1%?
I don't want 1% of 1%. You know, I'm a rich man. What the fuck? I don't need any shit, you know, from those guys. You know, I just want to help people now. That's where I'm at.
And we love you.
You know, that's the one thing I'll say about myself is that I never was greedy. Never, ever was I a greedy guy. I was always very fair with everybody, still am. But like when people would say to me, like the finance guys would come to me and say, if you could throw a lease our way, we'll kick you back some cash. And I always said to them the same thing. I don't want the cash. Give it to my customers. Give it to the guys. Don't give it to me. I don't need the money. So.
So Kenny, I just wanted to put a button on the DM conversation because, we used to have a DM 2000 and we tried to do shows with it, and gigantic pain in the ass. And I finally got to the point where, PSAV, back when they were still AVHQ or PSAV, I don't know, we had a couple, and I finally got to the point where I would occasionally see a DM 2000 come on a gear list, and it's the only console I actually ever refused to operate anymore. I finally just said, forget it. Because even if you did all the making a group workarounds and everything, the problem was it was set up to run ADAT, so it had no gain. You had to destroy your entire gain structure to get any poop out of the thing.
There's so many problems with that thing. I would never want to use the DM1000 on a serious gig, but I can use it for testing,
Yeah, well, back when there was only, when the digital consoles were very, very limited, it did some kind of interesting stuff, and only after you start seeing the 7, the PMs, the MC7,
well, isn't the flavor of the month now the DM7?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
In Yamaha land, for sure.
So just to tell you, Wayne, the market for a Pro ONV, what's it called? ONV 96, yeah, ONV 96 is it's going to be about the same price as the DM1000, and by getting 2 cards with the DM1000, I highly recommend, if you're gonna do that for your card testing purposes. It's worth getting the DM1000.
I'm getting a great price from Trey. He's just selling me.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Like, what's a great price? $300 or less?
Less, yes.
Okay, because you can also get a DM1000 for that. In fact, I'll sell you my second DM1000 for really cheap.
There you go. Look at that. What a deal.
I used the DM1000 when they were new on a Bentley press conference in New York at the convention center. And, it sounded really good, but it didn't have a lot of poop,
It doesn't have a lot of anything. But it has two digital inputs and outputs, and there's AES and SPDIF on those. So it's great for testing. And it has 2 cards. So I have a Dante card in one slot usually, and a Waves card in the other slot, and I can do all kinds of testing with that.
Well, that's good.
So Bruce, do you own your own press bridge or no?
No, I have a Waves card, but I don't use it much anymore. But no, I don't have a press bridge. Why?
Just curious.
Oh.
Does anybody use a press bridge anymore? Are press bridges still popular at those events?
Well, Dave and I just bought a bunch of these in-wall 16-channel ones that we're putting in the museum, and we used it like 2 weeks ago. We had a press conference, and all these press clowns came in and plugged into it, and it worked great. It's a flush.
What kind is
mount.
that?
I don't remember what brand it was. It was something I'd never heard of, but Dave Elliott found them. And
US Audio? It wasn't US Audio?
No, it wasn't US Audio. They're shiny like chrome and plates that like
Op-amp.
go.
Op-amp?
Maybe it was.
Well, the
Op-amp.
op-amp was in the suitcase.
Right, the suitcase
that's the
one.
old from the 70s thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but I had him start looking for those, and he came up with these other ones that are like the width of, they fit between the 16 inches on center.
Oh, the studs,
they cut a hole for it, and they ran cables over it. Yeah. Over to it, and they put 2 of them in and ganged them together, and they worked great. But
how about that?
Hey, Kenny, one thing, you remember the flat panel thing? Bruce has got those people coming in. Tell him, Bruce.
Yeah, so we have all these exhibition halls at the museum and the theater that we're going to replace the surround system in and put in a new PA with the DM7 and stuff. And I was telling Dave about these speakers, and I says, in these convention spaces, we don't have any room to hang speakers on the wall, and they're going to think they're ugly anyway. And the ceiling speakers are ancient, and we just don't even like them. They sound like ass and a half. So Dave talked to the West Coast guy from Flat Panel, And Friday at 3:00, at the church in Huntington Beach, we're going to go down and listen to these things and check them out.
Is that
Well,
the
we can't
thing
wait to
that
hear your report.
Lucas Carubia is involved in? You familiar? Do you know Lucas?
That name doesn't sound familiar.
I mean, he has some sort of a
Does to me.
revolutionary speaker system that he's kind of representing these days. And
No,
No,
this
he
was
was
what
here.
Marty brought up you last week. Marty
Right,
was in
Marty.
the room last week.
Yeah, Dave actually talked to Marty, and Marty hooked him up with the West Coast guys. Marty
interesting.
did good.
So Jan, I put the links in the chat to my three little recordings. One's a video recording, and in the video recording, you can see if you look very closely up in the upper part of the screen, there's a average and a peak CPU usage meter, and you can see that meter pin when I push on the bypass button to unbypass it or to engage it.
Let's see. We don't really have a lot of time to show it now because we're going to be going off the air in a matter of 3 minutes.
Do I even have?
You have the ability to share, Kenny, though. If you want to share it, you could share your screen.
I saved a copy to be looked at later.
Yeah.
Listen to later.
It gives you something, for you guys, you'll have something to do later, with your spare time. That's what I like. Yeah.
Spare time,
So anyway,
I'm sorry.
thanks for all those links that you guys are sending me.
I spoke about the meter. It's actually not pinned. It's just much higher than the average meter.
Jan, I sent you an interview that Adam Carolla was taking part of, and he had some interesting information about the Palisades thing. It's not his site, but he was on somebody else's podcast and they were talking about it, and he was there talking about things that he hadn't posted. So I thought I sent it to you because I thought you'd be interested in listening to it.
I would be.
Did y'all get a lot of rain this past week? It was over the news.
Yeah, it was rain. Yeah, the great thing.
A lot of rain would be an understatement.
Yeah. The great thing is it would rain like hell and then it would stop for an hour. And then it would rain like hell and it would stop for an hour. So
it really rained a lot, though.
Well, that's like tropical rain. That's like tropical rain.
I take rain up by me instead of the snow.
Yeah, right?
I'm not ready for snow.
Well, it's that time of year.
Time to break out the snowmobile.
I have one event left to do outdoors this year for the season, and it's this Saturday. I got to set up 32 speakers in a park for a light show display. It's about a mile long. The course is.
Oh my!
So I'm like,
oh my!
I know you're waiting to do the ice fishing concerts out there during the ice fishing days.
I don't do that ice fishing. I don't do ice fishing. I'm in the wintertime when it's cold out, I'm bundled up inside somewhere working. I don't do outdoor work.
Caribou hunting, something like that,
Yeah, you can't use subwoofers on ice fishing. It just
no, yeah. I tried.
You can't use. Anyway, boys and girls, children of all ages, thanks for watching. We're gonna stay in the room. Remember, you could join us anytime. Just DM us anywhere you're watching this show, and we'll send you a link so you could be on the panel. And remember, the 3rd, we're gonna have a guest, Devin Sheets from D-Feedback. Alpha Sound, yep. And just stay tuned. Stay tuned. What can I say? Anybody have anything else they want to say to the general public before we go private?
All right,
that's it. Well, thanks, Wayne. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for sharing. Remember, share the show. Tell your friends. Hey, we love you all, and so we
every
want
single
you to be
one
part of what we do. That's all. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't want you involved. Like my mom used to say. If I didn't love you,
I would ignore you. And then, of course, then she would ignore me.
Of course, of course.
Oh, poor Jan.
Now you understand why I am who I am. That's it. And also one other thing, I should have said this in the very beginning, but this was my 1-year anniversary this week.
Yes.
And
Congratulations.
so, if you're following us on Facebook,
Did
my
it go
personal
that
page,
fast? Wow.
man, it went fast. It went fast.
1 year already. Wow.
Yep.
So
1
how do
year.
you like
Anyway.
living? How long have you lived in Thailand now?
Well, let's put it this way. I am living here, but although I still live in the United States, so I still have my house. It's my only house.
Right.
And the reality is that I can't imagine living anywhere else right now.
So you like it
is
there?
Amazing.
Oh, that's
I
very cool.
love it. I
Yeah.
love it. It's what's not to love?
I
Thailand's
don't know.
called
Never
the
been
land
there.
of smiles. It's called the land of smiles, and
Yeah,
it's called the
that's what I've
land of
heard.
smiles for a reason.
And good food
However,
too.
the food is phenomenal here. Food is absolutely phenomenal. But I will say that more people now are focusing on living in Vietnam than they are in Thailand due to the regulations and the restrictions that Thailand's putting now on foreigners. So anyway, but I can't imagine living anywhere else but here. It's just an amazing country. It's just so peaceful and so friendly, and everything you need is here. I mean, everything you
Yeah.
need here. If I need the big city, I'm 2.5 hours away by car to Bangkok, which is one of the biggest cities in the world.
Yeah.
And they've got everything. But I love this rural life. I just love it. It's everything I need. Anyway, you make it happen. Everybody have a great week. Remember, you make it happen. So do have a great week. Stay safe and healthy, my friends. And until next week, we'll see you again then.